Today I'm going to show you how to fix these wrinkles. Last week I had so much fun working on Fit Tip Tuesday because I had an actual muslin with wrinkles that I could show how to fix it. And today I have before and after photos, and I also have what was adjusted on the muslin, and then I'm going to show you how to transfer that to your paper pattern. So this is an exciting one. So as you can see here, there's a lot of loose vertical wrinkles around the front crotch area. And actually, I wish I had also included the picture of the side view, because from the side view, the fabric in the front bulged out and it looked really yucky. So when you have a situation like that, there's too much ease around the front crotch. And the best way to get rid of it is to shorten the front crotch extension and inseam in that area to get rid of that ease. So first, take a look at this. These are the pieces of fabric that were cut off, and the wider end is the crotch, and then it tapers down along the inseam. So she basically sewed deeper through the inseam to bring in or remove all of that excess fabric. And what I want you to notice here is I'm going to put the picture of the wrinkles up one more time. And this picture, I blew it out a little bit. I made it much lighter than it was because these pants are like a dark navy or a black color. So I wanted you to see the wrinkles. That's why the picture looks so, I don't know, it looks a little bit weird because I blew it out to show the wrinkles. But it looks like there's a lot of wrinkles there. And looking at that, you might think that you need to really remove a lot of ease. But then if you looked at those triangles, she only ended up removing a little bit less than an inch on both sides. So what I want to point out here is less is more sometimes. All right, so before I show you how to get rid of it on your paper pieces, I have this muslin here. And I take this muslin apart and put it back together for lots of different reasons. But what I want to show you here is, this is the front. Okay, and I pinned, ouch. And I pinned the front crotch back together right here. Okay, so you can see this is the front crotch. And I took it out approximately to the knee. Okay, and what I want to do is just show you here what you're dealing with is if you've got a lot of extra vertical wrinkles here like that are like we saw in the muslin, what we want to be reducing is the ease right here. Okay, because that's what's bunching up and creating those loose vertical wrinkles. So this works great for ready to wear and also pants that you're making for yourself. So you can see I took apart the inseam. Okay, and I have all this loose pink thread here. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to sew deeper here. So I'm not going to sew, but I'm going to draw on here to show you. So my original seam was here, and I'm just going to dash it in with this black pen. Okay, so what she ended up doing was she took an extra bite out of it, and then she blended back into the original seam like this. Okay, and she did it on both legs. She went around to the other side. And that's how she got those little wedge pieces. Now, she ended up needing to take some out of the back as well, but you don't have to. So let's say your back is fitting great. You just have the front with all this extra room. What you can do to test how much you need to remove, and if you only need to remove it from the front, by taking it apart like this and basting it back together. And the way you're going to baste it back together is you're going to offset your seams. So here's my front, here's my back. I'm going to put those back together, but notice what I'm doing is I'm sticking out the front so it's hanging out farther than the back. And then what I would do is I would just pin that. And then you just very gradually ease in back to the original edges near the knee. Now, depending on how long those vertical loose wrinkles are, you can take fabric out along the upper thigh really all the way down if you needed to, or to the knee, whatever you need. And then you just pin it in place like this. And let's say we needed to remove like this much. Okay, so let's say it was something like this. Okay, and then we blended back together at the knee. You would base that, try it on, and if it fit right, then you can cut this extra off your front and sew it in permanently. So after you've determined the right amount to pull out of the front, sew it in permanently and trim it off and clean finish your edges. That's how you fix the pant portion. Now let's look at the pattern pieces. And again, in this situation, I'm not really dealing with the back, but you may need to. So if you think it's loose in the back as well, instead of taking the inseam apart, you can just sew deeper through the crotch, reducing the crotch extensions in front and back, if that's what you need. So in this case, I'm just going to pretend it's the front. And what I would do is I would measure how far in I sewed deeper than my original seam at the front crotch. Let's say it was a 1/2 inch. This is a small pattern piece. And then what you're going to do is you're literally just going to draw that adjustment, or draw the new stitching line all the way to where it blends into the original edge, like this. And then you're simply going to cut it off. Okay, so that's how you transfer that adjustment to your paper pattern. Now, of course, if you needed to do it to the front and back, I'm going to show you another way that you can do that. Notice here I had to redraw or shape my inseam by drawing it and then trimming it. Another way you can do it is to mark how much you need to remove. So first I'm gonna go ahead and just draw myself a guideline to my inseam, and then I'm gonna mark the wedge that I needed to remove like this. So I just drew a line from my inseam up, and then I measured the amount that I needed to remove there. And what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to cut one, and I'm going to slide it to the other one. So basically now I can just slide this over like this and tape it in place. And you can see doing it this way, and actually let me just trim a little bit of this part off now so it doesn't hang over. But basically what you're going to do is you're just going to slide this back to meet the line. Okay, like this. I'm going to tape that in place. And then I want to keep my inseam the same length. So this little bit right here, and I'm just going to use this little piece of paper, I'm just going to put it under here. Just use one of my sew tights. I'm just going to literally fill that in back to its original height, like this. I'm just going to fill it in like this because I don't want to cut anything off. Then I'm going to put some tape there. And then if I trim it now, you'll see you'll leave that little bit of black to fill in that little space. Okay, but that's removing it within the pattern so you don't have to redraw your inseam. Cut it off like this, or you can slash and slide it in. So again, first you need to decide if you just need to involve your front, or if you need to involve both of them. Okay, you can do that. But this is just a fun little example. Now let me show you how the pants looked after that wedge of fabric was taken out of the inseam, shortening the crotch points and a little bit down the inseam. Look at how much nicer the front of her pants looks. So you can see just removing that little bit was enough to smooth out all of those wrinkles that looked like it was really a lot more than it needed to be adjusted. So I'm just driving that point home because sometimes less is more. You look at your wrinkles on your pants, no matter where they are, and then you make a large adjustment, and sometimes you're overshooting the actual answer. So I just wanted to share this with you because I love it when I have a before and an after, and I just think it's fun. So if you have any questions or comments, please post those below and I will help you. If you would like to join my wait list for the J Stern Designs YouTube Insider Club that's going to be rolling out before the end of the month, please click the link below this video as well. I'm starting a new club. It's going to be an online community where you'll have access to the entire catalog of over 600 YouTube videos here on my channel, organized by topic. And I will also be doing other fun things each month, like having polls to see what you'd like to see for future Fit Tips Tuesdays. I'm going to be organizing my content into mini classes for specific fitting issues that you have. And the catalog is going to get updated with the fresh content from each month, so it'll always be updated. It's going to be a really fun thing, and I'm going to come in there and have face-to-face time with you as well. I really want to have a place where I can get to know my subscribers and people who fit along with me here on YouTube. I mean, you can see me, but I can't see you, right? So if you'd like to have some face-to-face time with me, plus all those other perks, so if you would like to have some FaceTime with me along with all those other perks, definitely sign up for the wait list. I want to thank everybody for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.